And let's bring in ABC News national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy for more on this. Mick, what do you make of this decree President Zelenskyy signed, formally declaring the impossibility of holding negotiations with Vladimir Putin? What does that mean for the trajectory of this war?
So I think it means a couple things, Diane. One, obviously, the Russians, led by President Putin, have not held up any of their stated promises throughout this, whether it's allowing grain to get out of ports, whether it was the simple fact that they weren't going to invade the country in the first place. So there's an honesty issue here that would seriously degrade any type of peace negotiations. And quite frankly, they are illegally annexing portions of the country at a time when Ukraine is taking back. They're going so fast, it's almost a sham to the extent that they can't even annex it in time before they lose it. So right now, Ukraine is on the offensive, and they have the initiative. There's no real reason for them to negotiate.
Mick, how significant are these advances by Ukraine, and can they keep that momentum going as Russia drafts more and more people to fight?
They can and they have to. So they want to gain as much territory as they can before the winter sets in. It's great news that we have another package of weapons and munitions heading their way. They need that. They do have to, and I'm sure the general staff the Ukrainians have been doing this. They have to take time to rest and refit. They don't want to outrun their supply lines, but so far they haven't. In the south, if they can actually get to the Dnipro River and control that area, they can actually control the water source to Crimea, which would be very significant when it comes to Russians' ability to stay there and maintain their troop presence there. So they need to gain as much territory as possible before the winter sets in. It will slow down on both sides when that happens.
Now, Putin says he plans to defend these newly annexed areas by any means necessary. So what happens if he uses tactical nukes, as some are suggesting he could?
So that's certainly what he's implying, and he's made overt threats to that extent already. I think the United States will respond. I think that message has already been passed, and that response would not only be to the unit that actually deployed the weapon, whether it was in Ukraine or Russia, but we would probably take the opportunity to destroy or at least degrade every piece of Russian combat power in Ukraine, which would include Crimea and the Black Sea. I think the United States would essentially destroy Russia's ability to wage war if they were to use a tactical nuclear weapon in Ukraine. I don't think we would go nuclear. I think that would be far down the list of possible responses.
Now, before I let you go, I want to ask you about North Korea, Mick. The country's been launching a lot of missiles lately, but nothing with this range. Why do this? Why fire a missile over Japan?
Well, first of all, it's totally irresponsible. They obviously have a nuclear weapons capability, and now they're working on the ability to deliver it. But these are tests, and they're tests over another country. So tests go wrong all the time. So it's incredibly irresponsible and provocative. And I think, to your point of your question, they want to be provocative. They seem to think that this gets them on the world stage, and it shows to their people that they have power, even though many of them don't have food.
All right, Mick Mulroy, we appreciate the analysis as always. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.